Welcome back, everyone, to AJC and the Web Devs. Let me fix my microphone. And
Mic,
we're
mic
back
check,
with
mic
Nicky
check.
T.
Hey, how you doing,
Yeah.
man?
AutoShow CLI, the trilogy. So we're on part 3 now. How you been, man? Tell me about your recent travels.
Yeah, lots been going on. It's September already, but geez, yeah, what the heck have I been doing? Last month, uh, I was in New York City for Apollo, Apollo GraphQL. They had an MCP builders series they've been starting.
Oh,
So they
cool.
had a meetup down there. So I got invited to go speak there. So I gave a talk about securing MCPs with zero trust. So that was a lot of fun, really great venue. And, there was, I think, 4 other speakers. There was Anthony from Goose, Amanda from Apollo, and Michael gave some talks. And then the other 2 people are escaping me, but it was a good event. And then is a whirlwind travel tour. So like I literally was in New York City for 1 day, flew out to San Francisco the next day. I gave a talk at this event, another AI event that I got invited to, talking about obviously stuff I work on. So
What was
zero
the event
trust, and
called?
I was called Sippin. I got to look on the Luma event. It was from GMI Cloud, uh, who do they offer stuff like you can buy your own I think you can rent out your GPUs there. They do
Deploying scale
inference.
AI effortlessly.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at what it was called.
That's
Sippin
cool,
something. Let
actually.
me look at. Oh, here I got the list. Everything's on Luma these days, at least for AI stuff. It was Eat, Sip, Ignite, the race for innovation, engineer, founder, and VC insights. So that was in San Francisco. And while I was there, also just because, well, I know you know, but I work at Pomerium. So I was down there.
You have
So
an SF
my
office?
there's no well, the office is technically Bend, Oregon, where the CEO is, but I think it's literally just a PO box, maybe. But we don't have a physical office. But we were down there, met a couple of our big clients there, so I just went to like lunch and dinners, just chatting with some of them. And I also actually got a chance to hang out with a mutual of ours, B. Dougie. So he's over
I was
at
gonna ask if
Continue.
you saw him actually. That's perfect.
It's yeah, I told him I was going to be in town, and originally we were both supposed to go to this MCP meetup that was hosted by SourceGraph, and there's people from Netlify there, so like my old crew, but I couldn't end up going in the end, and then B. Dougie couldn't end up going either, but I ended up going to the Continue offices, just co-work there, and grabbed a coffee with B. Dougie, and then they were hosting an event there that night. It was voice and AI. I can't remember the name of that one because I didn't. I think I joined the invite for it, but I was literally in the office, so like I was literally helping them set up chairs and stuff. So,
Cool.
but yeah, so I was there, and got to see some coworkers, and then flew off to Vegas right after that to
For
Black Hat
reInvent?
USA.
Oh,
Yeah,
Black
it was.
Hat.
Yeah, so that was my first Black Hat, which was pretty massive.
Black Hat scares
I
me. I've always heard that people say don't bring your devices to Black Hat. I'm sure
yeah,
for
I was
most people it's probably not an issue, but still, just the fact that that's like a thing people say, I'm like, I don't want to go to that then.
yeah, it's like, here's my oh, thank you for that USB drive or thumbstick. Let me go put that in my computer.
Actually, the host
But
of Software Engineering Daily had like a mental breakdown after going to Black Hat because he got so worried about security and like for what
oh,
actually happened.
oh wow. But yeah, that was a cool event. It was the first time I went to it. Wasn't I don't know if it was bigger than KubeCon EU or not, but it was definitely a massive
It's
event.
up there,
And
yeah. I
yeah,
think it's probably the biggest security conference in the world, I think.
yeah. And so like what we're doing, like where I work at, we're an identity aware proxy. So we're basically based off of zero trust security, and we secure internal apps in general. But with all the stuff with MCP, although we're not an AI company, our our software fits very well
It's a
with
good
remote
niche.
MCPs.
Yeah.
So like I've been doing a lot of stuff with remote MCPs. I've got this whole demo app, which is not really a demo anymore because we use it internally as well. But I built out essentially an MCP client with uh, the OpenAI responses API, and so like it does tool calls. Like you can use their web search tool. I integrated with their code interpreter, so I can actually say like make me a pie chart, and it spins up container in the cloud, run some Python, and then just gives you back the image or whatever asset you asked for. It's pretty cool, and also integrates with MCP servers. And I've been building out some demo MCP servers, but also like some that I actually wanted to have. So like I created a dev 2 one because
Yeah.
the idea there was, I don't know how much you've worked with MCPs, but essentially MCPs, it's, think of them as like remote tools that you can use to enhance the context of an LLM that you send to an LLM. And like for me, I made it one because I used to work there, and I was like, I need to make a demo of something, and they have a API, so I was like, I'll do that. But the other reason was like when I write blogs, like I use AI all the time now. No, I don't use AI to say write me a blog post. I'll bring in like either transcriptions, like say from a live stream, or just like if I'm out for a walk, I have a transcription of my voice notes. I
Yeah.
just kind of put that all in, and then I just say like, help
And this
me,
is a big part of AutoShow. It's like one of the main use cases. I'm kind of aiming
yeah,
at people who are doing exactly what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. That's why I bring it up too. But like, so like with the dev 2 thing, like, cause I've been using that in Goose or like VS Code or even the MCP client I created for work. But I want to be able to get the style and tone of how I write, so that like when I'm also saying help me draft, like a first pass, it can bring in my style and tone. Cause I'm typically kind of informal but still very technical, and like I it basically it figures out my tone and style. And so like I haven't finished that, but like basically that's the idea of pulling that in. And yeah, I've just been just messing around with all kinds of stuff. And also still, even though I've been at Pomerium since January, I'm still learning a lot. I've built a home lab recently. It's not something I was really into before, but
What do you mean by a
our
home lab?
so like I have a mini PC. It's like a Linux box, and I
Okay.
have stuff installed on it. So like I have Open Web UI or Libra Chat. So I have my own personal kind of air quotes chat GPT with local models. Libra Chat uses cloud-based models too, but I
You got a
also have like
GPU or is it on CPU?
there is a GPU on it, but I didn't buy a GPU. It's just it's from a company called Minis Forum. So the GPU is probably like okay, but it's not like I've never bought a
So
GPU.
could you run? So you could probably run models that are like up to like the tens of billions of parameters, but not like the 405 ones.
Yeah, so like right now, and I learned something about this too. The GPU, you can give it like it has a certain amount of RAM or RAM, like it has its own RAM, but you can go in your BIOS and you can give it some virtual RAM too, which
Right,
helps
buy
with
more
it.
RAM, as they
Yeah,
say.
so I cranked that up, and so basically like the models that go to 7 or 8 billion, they are able to be pretty much loaded into the GPU and RAM. Um, but bigger ones, they still work. Like I have like the GPT OSS, the 20 billion one, and it
Yeah, that's
works
about
on
as
the
far as
mini.
you can get. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. It's just
Slow.
it's not a super powerful machine. So yeah, it might chug along a little bit, but it still will give you something there. And it's just I've got N8N on there. I'm basically building up just all these tools. One, because it helps me work with our product better, but also it's an actual valid use case of using our stuff, because we have like open source version. We also have like not that this is like some kind of sales call or anything, but like we obviously have enterprise like a lot of people, but we have another tier called Zero, which it is a paid tier, but there's a free tier where it's pretty generous. So like you can even use that if you basically want a little more hand holding, I guess is how I'd phrase it.
Mhm.
But it's just been cool stuff because like as you know, like I've been mainly an app developer, web developer, and so like I'm all in like platform engineering and security now. So
Yeah,
you know,
pretty big
my
change.
past experience, that it definitely helps my past experience, especially for building things. But there's stuff I'm learning, you know, like I'm definitely a lot better at Docker now. But yeah, there's just stuff that like I'm sure like some staff platform engineers like probably gonna laugh at me if I said, hey, I just figured this out. But like that doesn't bother me. You know, I'm good at picking things up, and it's just a space I haven't really been in a lot. That's all. You know,
Yeah, no,
so
totally. Yeah, I've never done like DevOps officially, but I've always been interested in deployment. And every company I've worked for is really basically a deployment company. StepZen was deploy your GraphQL API
yeah.
gateway. QuickNode was we deploy your blockchain infra for you, and then Edgeo was we deploy your front end. It's like a enterprise Vercel kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So it just feels like a recurring theme for me. And I've never done hardware in my house, but I am thinking more about how can I rent
Mm,
GPUs, things like Linode,
yeah.
Hertzner, stuff like that. Because I'm getting more into the open source models and not even necessarily so much text, but like we're gonna get to in the stream. I'm messing around with like music models now. I've gotten into some
Hmm.
open source image models, which I think that's actually a really interesting space because the models don't need to be so big that they get totally ridiculous. Like I tried to integrate open source video. Is the only one I couldn't get. I tried like 3 different things.
Okay.
None of them could run on my machine. I just don't have a powerful enough machine to. There were some smaller ones that I could have tried, but I was kind of like, whatever. But the image ones, you seem to be able to get fairly good results with the open source stuff. But that's why I'm interested now. If you just rent your own GPU, you could load up an open source video model and just kind of mess around with that. So I'm just curious, like, what's that going to really cost? How easy is it going to be
Hmm.
to set up? Because the video stuff is something that I just find is really in an interesting place right now. I think it's about to completely explode in the next like 2 to 3 years because right it's like right on the uncanny valley line right now. A lot of the
Okay.
tools, unless you pay a lot of money, they'll give you these like slightly weird artifacts. So you really have to be able to work with them well to create something that's like production quality, like video production quality. I mean, but
Hmm.
as we see, the growth curve and the improvements of all these things. So obviously they're going to keep getting better in the next couple of years. And once it's at the point where you can just give any image and instantly turn into a flawless 5 to 10 second video, that's just going to be so huge. Like we're already kind of seeing this. Like Elon Musk like lost his shit over the turn X images into video. He was like the only thing he tweeted about for like a week. So I think that's
Okay.
kind of the slight type of excitement people are gonna get because people just love short form videos. Like I don't
Oh
watch a
yeah.
lot of TikTok. I don't watch YouTube Shorts, but as far as I can tell, that is like the only thing the Zoomers watch. At least if the stereotypes are true. Do you watch? What do you watch? TikToks and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that?
I do. And like I personally find it harder and harder to watch long videos. It depends. Like I still do, but it's pretty easy to consume like short content, and it does do well. Like I was
Mhm.
telling you briefly before the live stream, like even at work, like I kind of kickstarted our YouTube channel again because like it I mean, they had some videos up there, but they weren't doing live streaming or anything. It was just I think
Are you using the key
they've got
moments
videos.
swapped?
I haven't yet,
Okay.
but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, but I was using it. Uh, was I using it for my? Yeah, I was using it for my own to find like the key moments in the live stream, like you said.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, just noticed like just super ton of engagement with short form content. And the interesting thing is they go to watch long form content after watching the short on the channel.
Right, and that's why,
So
like, I know this is a huge blind spot for me because I don't watch this kind of content, but that's where everyone's going, and it is such a good funnel. I know all sorts of people who, they'll show up on like, Joe Rogan's podcast or something, and people are like, who is this? They came out of nowhere, and then you look them up, and they've been like just cranking out TikToks for like 2 years, and they have like millions of fans, and it's like, what? So it's clearly there's something really important going on there.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, people's attention spans in general are just like very short these days. I'm generalizing, but
No, it's true.
it
Yeah, I find
it
it's
doesn't
the
it
two
doesn't seem that
extremes.
general at the same
You
time.
either watch 90-second videos or you listen to 3-hour podcasts. I find there's very little in
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah, no, because I still listen to podcasts a lot. Because like if I go out for a walk, I'll 100% listen
Yeah.
to like hour and a half podcasts. I'll usually go for like, I'd say it varies, but like this morning I went for like a 30-minute walk. I'll go for another walk later today. It's just kind of, sitting down all day. It's like I like to move around. I mean, I still work out and stuff too, but like
Mhm.
the walking, I find it's just a nice way to kind of decompress, and it's the easiest time to listen to long form content. It's like, and I'm not going to walk and watch it like a 1 hour video, but like the
Yeah.
long form content, like we're live streaming right now, but like if I was working and a friend was live streaming, I would
Mhm.
have it to the side. That's typically how I watch a lot of long form
I do that with
content.
your streams for sure.
Yeah. But then there's like really long streams, like Ryan Carniato, my old coworker from Nullify.
He's actually going right now with Dylan talking about
Yeah,
Marco.
yeah, I know. I saw, he has amazing content, and it's not boring at all. My only problem is
It
I can't
requires
commit to
focus.
a. Yeah, well, I literally cannot
Yeah,
commit to like a 5 hour stream.
sure,
Basically, is what
yeah.
I'm getting at.
Mhm.
But
Well, you get
but
a
his
daily
streams,
1-hour stream every week.
yeah. But that said, like, Ryan's stream is the kind of stream I could put to the side while I'm doing work.
Mhm. Yeah.
Again, not because it's boring, but just because I can't literally focus for 5 hours on a stream and justify to work.
Mhm.
What'd you do Friday? Watch Ryan's stream. Oh yeah,
Dude,
cool,
that's how I
nice.
felt during the pandemic at a certain point when I was like on Discord and watching a lot of Twitch streams. It was just like I felt like that was all I was doing all day.
Yeah, no, yeah. Pandemic was wild. I mean, it's not like COVID's gone away, but like peak pandemic was wild. Like
Oh yeah.
lockdown and stuff. And I don't know how bad lockdown was for you, but like my kids, like they weren't allowed to go anywhere, obviously, so like I literally built a skating
I
rink in the
fled my
backyard.
state, let me put it that way.
Okay, all right, don't say any more. Don't want to implicate you in
No,
anything.
the pandemic was really interesting for me actually because it started 2 months into my boot camp, which I was doing Lambda school. So I was already doing an online remote boot camp and had been kind of like
Okay,
just like living at home already. But at the same time, I was driving for Uber to make money. So it was this weird thing where I was actually out all the time, but also kind of had already been acclimated to the pandemic kind of work from home lifestyle. And for me, it was like everyone else came online. And then all of a sudden I had this like huge audience of people to interact with through content. So I got all these discords, and this is how you and I met is through all this
yeah,
stuff in 2021. So for me, it ended up being like a highly positive experience in a lot of ways because it was at a point in my life where I really had to make some huge changes, and it kind of forced a lot of changes on the world in a way that I was able to take advantage of. People also started tipping way more for a couple of months for Uber Eats, so I made like twice as much money the first month of the
okay,
pandemic just because every single restaurant had to deliver food. So it
okay,
was it
yeah, yeah,
it was like a super in demand important job all of a sudden to be driving for Uber Eats.
yeah. The when I used to work in restaurants, and so like I generally tip well. Like even when
Mhm.
it's bad service, like I'll still leave 15%. But if it's like
Yeah.
if it's like good service, I generally minimally it's 18, usually 20. But the thing that annoyed me, and it's not always it wasn't just during the pandemic, but some places like I'll leave a tip like if I'm coming to pick it up. And this one restaurant, they have really good tacos and stuff, but like took an hour, and it's like I regretted tipping, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyways, because like I mean, anyways, yeah, I don't want to get into tipping, but obviously people that work in restaurants are generally underpaid, but anyways,
Yeah.
I
Cool.
digress.
So what we were gonna do today is I was actually gonna demo some stuff, and then you were like, "Do you want me to do anything?" And I was like, "Actually, we should have you set up some of these new commands on the
Okay.
CLI because since we're doing these open source things like images and video and music and stuff like that, it's a lot of Python. So I have this
Mhm.
completely insane Python tool chain right now that builds like 3 or 4 different environments for all these different things. I'm have the plan to eventually try and move everything to UV, so I have a simpler way of managing all this Python crap. But
Mhm.
for now, it kind of has separate environments for each tool. So we should pull your
Okay.
thing up, and we'll get the
Cool.
setup command running first, and then I'll start explaining some of the new tools while it runs in the background. So it'll probably take about 5 minutes to set up, and then another 5 minutes to download the models.
Cool. I'll just go ahead and share my screen here.
Let me know when I can pull it
Um,
up.
yeah, go for it. I'll just close these as we're talking. But I was deploying Kubernetes on my local to. I'm actually. Have you used subagents in Cloud Code?
No, I'm not. I mean, I tried Claude Code. I'm not using it regularly. If
I
I was
use
going to
it
use
all the
anything, I
time.
probably would try Open Code, honestly.
Yeah, no, I use Open Code as well. I don't
Mhm.
think they have subagents yet. Yeah, I have like.
What's a
I'm
sub
actually
agent?
enjoying.
I'm ignorant of this term, surprisingly enough.
Well, it's just an agent, but essentially you can like if I zoom this in here, so I've created there's some built-in ones
Like a
with
little mini agent that does a certain kind of scoped task.
yeah, exactly. So like I have a
Mhm.
Kubernetes
Cool.
specialist, a TypeScript expert, a Pomerium expert,
What does the
Golang.
TypeScript expert do? That sounds useful.
I took it from somewhere or I might have made it. Open in editor, sure. View agent. Okay. So basically, it's just like
It comes with a big, big system prompt.
yeah, and
You
it's
combine the practical teaching approach of Matt Pocock with the architectural insights of Andre Hillsberg. That's really funny.
oh yeah, I mentioned that when I said help me create it, but like and this probably could be improved, but like the point is I've been finding these super useful. It came out about a month ago, I think. Um, like the thing that's been super helpful for me is I don't know if other people use it this way, but like because there's still a lot of like Linux commands I don't know, and like because like I need to do more of that because of the nature of what I'm doing, and so
Yeah,
I actually
LLMs are
have
freaking
like
awesome at Linux commands.
yeah, and all that stuff. So like I'll like even on my digital ocean droplet where I have like my Pomerium demo that I work on to
Mhm.
secure MCPs and stuff, I have open code and Claude code there. So like whenever I get stuck, like, help me clean up the compose.yaml, I want to add this to it, blah blah. Like there's stuff like I can obviously Google it and then add the config and so on.
Mhm.
It's not rocket
Warp is really
science.
good for this also because Warp now the terminal has agent stuff built straight into it. So anytime you're doing terminal stuff, you can just drop down to English language at any point. I really, really like that.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Ben Holmes who works there now. I saw him
Works
at
at
the
Warp?
yeah.
What?
He left the Astro team a couple months. Oh, I'm not sure when he left. The AI World Fair was in June, so he left before that. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm gonna say maybe
That's
May.
cool.
I don't know, but
Warp
yeah,
was one of
I
the
don't
last
know.
episodes of FS Jam we did, interviewing the CEO Zach. It was a really cool one.
Okay.
I got into Warp right when it came out, and I was like, "This is the shit." Screw the regular terminal because everyone has like their oh my zish configs. They spend all this time making their terminal super dope, and then they just came around. They're like, "Here's a terminal that actually is usable from the beginning." And I was like, "That's what I
Yeah.
want."
Yeah, no, I still haven't used well, there's a couple things because like I'm in VS Code a lot, at least when I was doing web development. So I'm
Mhm.
like always in the built-in terminal.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the most requested features of Warp is to be able to use it within VS Code. But
Yeah,
that's
that would
like
be huge for me.
it's a
Yeah,
major rework from what I understood.
sure. Yeah.
Um, um, but that's typically why I haven't used it. But now like that I'm using these CLIs, for AI. Like I'm in like Ghosty all the time now. Just I don't know. I'm enjoying the CLI experience, even though like I love VS Code. So like I kind of use both. Like so like I'll be using Copilot for stuff sometimes, but a lot of times lately, at least for a lot of the infra stuff I've been doing, I've been in the CLI. And like even Kubernetes, for example, like I understand what Kubernetes is at a high level, but there's just like there's a lot of configuration to it. And like right now I have to just bootstrap a demo and then add our software on top of it. So like I'm still gonna learn Kubernetes, but the point I need right now is like I just need to move fast to get something working, and then I'll understand it all after. But anyways,
yeah. When I was first
here.
learning Docker back like 2021, that was one of the things that was really big for me. Is it got me in the terminal more and learning a lot of commands and like learning the Docker CLI, and that was so useful for me. Now that I'm like building this CLI, so
cool.
Let's start off.
Let's load it up. I'm gonna probably have to get latest. I think I pulled latest last week, but
you have to pull
just in
latest
case.
today. I just pushed all the newest.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do that. Let's get rid of some stuff here. Zoom in a bit for the folks at home. Buckle up. Let's go. All right. Cool. Yeah, there's a few things. Okay, cool. So
let's just do npm run setup first.
Okay, the classic. All right.
Yeah, and if you had an old setup, I'm not sure how it's gonna work with that. We will see. But what were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna. I'm trying to remember what it installs. It installs Whisper. What else does it do? I mean, it does npm packages, obviously.
Yeah, it says npm packages. It sets up Whisper. The other things it's doing now is it sets up your text to speech libraries, which is Koqui and Kitten. Those are super fast, so you barely even notice. It also sets up stable diffusion for images and 2 audio libraries, AudioCraft and Stable Audio. So the way it works now is did it break?
So you should, it's the cask. It can't pull it down from Brew.
Oh, interesting.
Do I have to do like a Brew tap first, or
what's it failing on?
It's installing LibreOffice. Are you using that for like PDF or something?
Yes, you shouldn't need to install that through Brew, but you can go ahead and see what happens.
Well, I wasn't going to, but it actually just said error during installation, failed to install, command failed, Brew install cask LibreOffice. So does the script have? Okay. Yeah, I tried that and it failed too. It can't download it. I wonder if like there's a issue with the registry, or it says it's 404ing on yeah, I don't think it's a Brew error either. It's literally like the URL to go grab the latest. It's giving a 404.
Yeah. So
let's see here. I mean, I can literally download it. Download LibreOffice. Where is it? Mac OS Silicon 2.5. What's the difference? Will be maintained. Okay, I'll grab latest, I guess, and just again, it's something going on with Brew. Has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I'm curious which tool is even using this.
All right, let's do this. I'm guessing it's got to be for PDF or reading something text wise, like.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some PDF stuff that got added, and also I think someone might be watching the stream. Chase left a issue saying that it's not entirely. Actually, no. This is the regular AutoShow app. That doesn't really support Windows, so that is true. I kind of didn't want to have to figure out how to support both, so I've made everything Mac OS only. But if someone actually wants to use it on Windows, I would be willing to put in the work.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think you could say realistically you need to use WSL for now, at least.
Yeah.
But that then you don't do brew commands. But like
Mhm.
I think for developers at least, saying you got to use the WSL. I don't really use Windows
I
anymore,
would like
but
to make it so it's agnostic and doesn't need homebrew also. That's mostly just because I was already using a homebrew, and so it was the path of least resistance. But I'm
yeah,
not like philosophically tied to it, you know?
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna run this setup again. It's got LibreOffice installed now, so hopefully it just
If it
checks if
breaks
it
again,
exists.
try wiping your node modules, bin, and models folder, and then doing a fresh install.
Okay, script fail. Okay, yeah, it's still trying to do the.
Let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
hold on. Let's see. Does it say where in the script it's
Curl 56. I'm just gonna look where LibreOffice is.
nowhere.
Okay,
It's
no,
only in
it's
the
in Node.
package lock. So
Okay,
that's
yeah.
got nothing to do with it. That's because that's probably related to the PDF.
Okay, yeah. Error path, AutoShow CLI, node modules, 0x commit. Oh, you know what it
Okay.
is? It is that trying to install it.
Okay.
The
See, so
node
this is
0x
for
package can't
Xerox.
install it.
So let's do this. Let's remove that from your package JSON and then try
Okay.
again.
All right.
So this is one of the PDF extraction tools. It actually is pretty sweet. It's the only one that gives you like markdown formatting, because a lot
Okay.
of PDF extraction tools just gives you like a straight text block at the end.
Okay.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah, it's already going ahead now because it
Great.
didn't get to this part before. So, but that's interesting. It could be. Sometimes it depends on environment. This happened, but that's literally it's giving the brew error. Like,
That's really weird. That is,
uh,
yeah, it's a brew error, but it's all going through the npm stuff.
yeah, I'm guessing there's probably like a pre or post install script for it, which detects your OS and knows how to pull it down. But
Gotcha.
I'm surprised. I'm curious if you check on the Xerox repo. There's probably an issue about that. I'm guessing, but
Yeah, unless it like just broke today.
yeah, they said Anthony's doing a live stream. Let's just
Breako crap.
bust this for him. Let's make him look bad on live on camera.
Yeah, let's see.
That's probably what they
I
said.
don't see any open issues for Libra. So who knows?
Well, anyways, we know what it is now, so not the end of the world for now. Like,
Looks like there's
are we
something
doing
called
any?
node Xerox. Okay. So let's get back to this. So the way the setup command works now, I it can be a little better at this, but what I tried to do is basically decompose out the different pieces of it so that you don't need to like install a whole Whisper model if you only want to use the image thing, and vice versa. So
Okay.
what the okay, so you shouldn't
Script failed. Let's
you
check
shouldn't
the log.
need Python 3.9 because it should be doing everything through a it should do everything through virtual envs, but
Yeah, I have PyEnv installed, but let's check there. Whoops. Version. What is it?
I want to
Dash
do Python
V.
3 probably.
Oh,
I don't know if that
I
matters.
do have it. Okay.
Try just
And
switching
that's
to 3.9.
okay. I don't know. I've never actually switched with PyEnv. How do you do it? Is it just install?
I don't know either.
Here we go. If only we had AI tools. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, sure. All right. You know what? Let's go beast mode. Let's go GPT. Where's the mini? Sure. All right. Using PyEnv
Just
switch.
PyEnv install 3.9. That's all it is.
Okay. Kind of like NVM 3.9, you said?
Yep. So let's try that, see what happens.
Cool.
Because some of the different tools require different versions of Python. So that's why everything should be going through virtual environments, but it may just be that the way it was initially configured, it looks for your initial environment while it's doing that, and for some reason has a check saying it needs to be 3.5. So that's something that I need to fix, because that shouldn't be a requirement. The whole point is to use virtual management to avoid that kind of stuff. And this is why, like, man, Python, freaking mess when it comes to their packaging.
Well, it's JavaScript ecosystem is interesting too. Like
JavaScript is much better than Python when it comes to packaging, even with like the difficulties of NPM and Yarn and PMPM and all that stuff. I feel like they've all kind of done a good job of coming together in a lot of ways, whereas with Python, things have seemed to have gotten more fractured.
Yeah, I'm not really in the Python ecosystem. Yeah, no, I just meant more. There's just so many ways to install stuff with JavaScript these days.
All right, let's do the setup
Cool.
again.
Yeah, let's do it up. All right.
This is why I wanted to have you do this, because I knew that this step in particular, because now that it has so many tools, it's very easy for any one of them to break. And this is why I still need to do a little more work of decomposing out the different pieces. Because right now what it does, it runs through your setup for basically all of the different modalities, but it doesn't download any of the models, because that's what takes a long time, because some of the models are like 5 to 10 gigs at this point.
Okay,
So it will basically set you up to use all of the tools. And then if you want to download the models for any one in particular, you do npm run setup -- music or -- image.
Okay.
And you could do -- all if you want to download the models for all of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a pretty fast internet connection. It's 1 gig up and down. So if we do want to pull stuff down, it should go pretty quickly. Okay, cool. All right, so
let's look at the docs. While this is good, or what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, so what we're installing. So, like, I guess for people not familiar with some of the tools, maybe. So, we've got Whisper that's installing right now. So what does Whisper give us out of the box?
Yeah, so Whisper is for the transcription. That is really what kind of launched this whole project, was using Whisper CPP and then adding on LLMs on top, so you could get a pipeline of basically transcription to LLM with a prompt inserted in the middle. So it still says Python 3.9 to 3.11 required. Man.
Do I have to do a pym switch or pym?
Oh, your thing didn't actually take.
Yeah, it installed it, but local setter show.
Let's do this. Can you scroll up a little bit? I want to see which Whisper it's breaking on. So it says 3.9. So this is for Whisper Core ML.
Core ML.
Yeah. So I'll explain this really quick. Can you go into the setup script?
Yeah.
So this is in the .github folder. So Core ML is a way to speed up your Whisper transcription on Mac OS. So this is something that I've been, every couple months over the last like year and a half, I would go to look at the Core ML section on the Whisper CVP README and would try the commands and would just never figure out how to get it to work. So just comment out the Core ML part for now. So there's Whisper. Whisper Metal is the CPU on Mac OS, I think, also. And then Core ML, one of them figures out how to leverage Mac OS GPU, I think is how it works. That actually might not even be correct, but there's a way to use specific machine hardware to get Whisper faster in different ways. There's like 4 or 5 different things you can do. There's like Metal, there's Core ML, there's CUDA stuff. So this is a super duper complicated thing to figure out. So I can see why it's breaking here. So let's just comment out Core ML and try again.
Cool. Yeah, and this is also good to your point about getting me to run it, because you might have run into these issues or forgot about them, and you're like, yeah, everything's fine, and then it's kind of like when people onboard to a company, or like anytime they try something for the first time, that is like, if you can capture that, always try to, like,
totally, yeah.
And I don't think these were
this, but And I don't think these were issues that I ran into, but that's because there's just so many things that are specific on one machine. So just things like it needing to check your version of Python and you being on a different version of Python globally and that messing it up just because your thing was just slightly different, you know?
But yeah, I wonder why it didn't take the PyEnv, or are you using Poetry still? I remember you mentioning that Poetry is an easier way to do all
I
that.
think it's all virtual EMV now is what it's using. Yeah,
Okay.
Poetry was better than what I was doing, but then I realized all the momentum is actually behind UV, not Poetry. So they're aimed at the same thing, like simplifying your whole Python package management deal and different versions of Python. So I think I bet on the wrong horse in that race, but right now, I think it just uses virtual EMV to create individual virtual machines. Okay, so whisper
It
diarization
failed.
might actually
Yeah.
be why it's failing. So comment out whisper diarization this time.
Okay.
See
Not.
how that goes.
I was gonna be juvenile and say whisper diarrhea, but anyways, I
Yeah,
digress.
so the whisper diarization I actually integrated into this project a while ago and then took it out because I didn't want to have to deal with the Python stuff. Because at the time, it was the only thing I was having to set up a whole Python virtual environment for. And then I ripped it out a while ago. But then since then, now that I have like 3 Python virtual environments for other tools, I was like, I should just add whisper diarization back in because I kind of want to use it. It adds speaker labels to your whisper, which is something that
Oh,
is
nice.
really, really hard to do. And one of the biggest gaps with Whisper CPP is that it only gives you a single line of text. So it doesn't give you the speaker labels. You need to use like a third-party service for that. But Whisper diarization is the main open source way to kind of do that. But as you see, it's a little complicated in terms of getting it set up.
Yeah, and well, it looks like it says done now, so we'll go to the next piece, I guess.
No, that's happened before.
Oh, okay.
That one worked, Whisper Metal worked, and then it errored on Core ML, and then Whisper diarization this time. So if it bubbles up another error in a different part of the project, then there's something more fundamental that's wrong here that is related to the other Python setups.
Gotcha. Cool. Just checking something over in Slack.
Oh,
cool. All right,
good,
success.
good.
Yeah,
So
no, it's
okay, interesting. Okay, I see what
building with
happened.
metal.
So it's still broke, saying it doesn't have the right version of Python. Oh, because are you on 12? Is that what it said you were on?
I'm on here. Hold on a sec. Python 3-V.
Okay, yeah,
3.12.
now I understand what's wrong. The whole thing was for it. It created this constraint that you have to be between 9 and 11, which is actually should not be the case. That was just because some required 9 and some required 11. So
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like we got to the end this time. It did fail over and didn't actually set up your TTS, which is okay because we demoed that on a previous one, so you don't really need to actually hold on. So it skips audio craft and it skips stable audio too. So it looks like it was able to just set up Whisper, but because the Python thing broke, it basically hasn't set up any of the Python stuff.
Okay, so you need it.
We need to figure out how to get you off of 12 to do that.
Well, I can install 11, but what happens if it were to use 12? Like, it's like right now, from what I can tell, you're just erroring because it's the wrong version.
Yeah, basically.
Like, if we just change this to the version I have, would it all work?
Yeah, it should, but we need to figure out where is the check actually happening, because
yeah. Here, I'm just curious. I'm gonna put it in for a sec. And
oh wait, I see. I think I see where it is.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Okay, so it's everywhere where it has 3.9, 3.10, 3.11. Yeah, this is it. This is what we need to change right here. So yeah, you guys. So change each of those to not the echo part, but the so right above that.
Oh yeah, here. Okay.
So grab that and just because this happens 3 places in the project. So copy that whole thing and
can I just do that?
So you need to
Oh
do
wait,
this in it. So add a, what's the top? What's the big line called?
yeah, but is this a regex here?
It's basically doing a for loop and then checking over each version.
Okay, I'm not. It looks like there's a bracket. Oh, that's part of this bracket here, I guess.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
so find pi is the function, and then it's doing a for loop over your different Python versions. And so you need to
so I
do this
can.
in 2 other places in the project, it looks like. And
Yeah.
so it's in Whisper Core ML, Whisper Diarization, and then the TTS. Yeah. So this is the issue right here. I'm gonna push a change
Cool.
for this right now.
Boom. Oops. Yeah, if I don't know if you can do a regex here, but you could do 3.9 or like 3.1
Well, this whole
slash
thing should
E.
be removed. It shouldn't be doing a check for your Python version at all. There's no reason to.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. All right, so we
This is
should
what
be good
happens when
there
you
now.
vibe code, people. Especially when you're vibe code in another language you don't do.
All right, so if that's the case, let's fix let's undo this here. This should work now, right?
Did you change all 3 places that it was happening?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's do it. See what happens.
I'm gonna YOLO. All right. Welcome to the show.
AutoShow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but this is the good stuff to, just obviously want to show some stuff off, but like
Yeah, we'll
this
get
is the
there.
thing that makes projects stick more than others, you know what I mean? Like because this is currently a friction point, you know what I mean? So it's good
Yeah, exactly.
we're looking at this.
And because they're all coupled together, it's like it was interesting because at one point it was breaking, but then at other points it would skip over the ones that it was doing. So there's different checks, some of which are failing the whole command, some of which are failing gracefully. So
Yeah, exactly.
they should all fail gracefully so that if any one piece of the project breaks, the rest of it works. This has been one of the interesting things about just building this project is I've had to think a lot about the overall structure of the project because it has so many tools and does so many things at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
All
trying
right,
to just make
cool.
it so basically it's kind of like 6 CLIs combined into one. And if you want to just use one of those 6 CLIs, you can. But if you want to combine them all into like a meta CLI, then that should also be easy.
Yeah. The mega.
No mega.
The megalodon of scripts, or I don't know. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so while this is going on, so it's installing Whisper. That's for converting audio to text, right?
Yep.
And then there's the other ones like the Metal and the Core ML, like you were mentioning. The Metal does the tags in the
Metal is for Mac OS.
Okay.
CPU, I think. I should look this up. I think CoreML. Okay, so CoreML uses Apple's Neural Engine, which is a series of AI accelerators designed by Apple to enhance machine learning capabilities on their device. So this is basically what's optimized for your M chip. So your M1, your M2, your M3. Whereas the metal stuff, I think, is just a CPU thing. So we see right now it's actually trying to set up our Python environment. So this is great. So this is right now setting up CoreML, Python. You're on a Mac right now, right?
Yeah, I'm on a M4 actually. So
M4.
it should be.
So you would want to use CoreML actually, and I'm really glad I finally got it working. All right, we got something else here.
Okay. The Core ML stuff. Okay, so there was some modules it can load.
Okay, so let's comment out the Core ML one again.
Okay. Not today, Core ML. All right.
And like I was saying, Core ML, it took me like a year of trial and error and stops and starts to finally get it working. I ended up just like building out a whole custom bash script to do all these checks and all these things to actually get it to finally work on my machine. So I'm not surprised that this is
I'm just gonna comment out this stuff because we've already done all that.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, of course, I commented out something probably. All right. I just wanted this to go a little faster, but like, let's
Yeah, no, I know.
do.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
skip all the brew things.
okay, it's the setup dirty here that I got rid of by accident. No. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah, it's okay. There's other things I want to talk about. So while it's running, I want to
Cool.
explain the music things we're using right now. So there's two tools that I checked out. One was called Stable Audio, which
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's actually related to Stable Diffusion or not. Let's see. It's on Stability AI, which I think is the
I was
company
gonna
behind
say
Stable
like
Diffusion.
stable rhymes with able, Ableton. I don't know. Stapleton.
Yeah, so
Probably
their
not.
company has gone through different names, so it's a little bit
Okay.
confusing. But I think it's the people behind Stable Diffusion. I could be wrong about that, but
Okay.
if you let me just look at their GitHub actually. I'll give the best explanation.
Yes.
So it's Stable Audio Tools, generative
Okay.
models for conditional audio generation. So training and inference code for audio generation models uses PyTorch.
Okay. I'm assuming you generated that image with AI.
Yeah, that's old. That was when I first started the project. I need to update that
Okay.
actually. I'm not sure if the current README has everything, but if you go to the docs
Yeah.
directory, yeah, and then scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling to the README.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So you see here, this breaks down everything the project does. So you have the text command, which that kind of couples together the transcription and the LLM stuff, because that's how the pipeline was initially created. I'm eventually going to refactor this so there is just a transcribe command. So if you just want to run transcription and not have the part where it adds a prompt and feeds it to an LLM, it won't do that. So that's kind of the last thing that needs to be broken out so that every single modality has its own command. But right now, text and transcription are kind of tightly bound together. And then there's the image command, which includes Dolly, which I need to update to ChatGPT image 1, and Black Forest Labs, AWS Nova, and then SD CPP. So that's Stable Diffusion CPP. This is kind of like how Whisper has Whisper and then Whisper CPP, like a C++ library to kind of speed it up. This is the same thing for your image Stable Diffusion stuff. And then also has Runway.
This is interesting because you could, I don't know, it'd be interesting to have an MCP server, you could send a tool call and say like, I don't know, make me a futuristic landscape, and like you could specify like basically what you're running here, but like if you're running, I don't know, maybe it makes
You
more
could definitely.
sense.
I've thought about the MCP stuff for this. I think it definitely, if I were to build it and have it all come together, it would be really sweet, because right now it has a lot of disparate tools. It requires a lot of CLI stuff to get it to work. So if you could kind of combine all that to a nice English language interface, that would be great.
Yeah.
Let's check back on our setup command if at this point it's either failed or made it to the end. So
buddy, what's going on?
PyTorch compatible version. Can you go to the logs saved there?
Oh, it doesn't look like there. Oh yeah, C script failed. Let's go.
Yeah, it failed. It doesn't write a setup thing unless that should be in your project root.
Okay. Oh, it's ignored. That's why it's not showing. Okay.
Yep.
14534 latest.
It'll be the bottom layer.
Okay.
It's probably just gonna say the same thing. Okay, so that's not even entirely clear why I broke. All right, let's comment out. Yeah, let's just comment out all the Whisper stuff. Whisper, Metal, Core ML, and Diarization. Just comment all three of those out. I just want to see if we can get the music one to work. Let's actually comment out the TTS too as well.
Okay. But the original Whisper installed
Yes, yeah,
fine
keep
though,
the
right?
main Whispers. That one hasn't broken. Comment out those ones. Yeah. Okay, let's try this, see
Okay.
what happens. I just want to at
Okay.
least get the music one working. We got Fuzzy in the chat. What's up, Fuzzy?
Hey, what's up, Fuzzy?
We're deep in dependency hell right now.
Ship it. But yeah, to me, this would be interesting and more accessible as an MCP. Like obviously as devs, like I'm fine messing around with this like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting as an MCP server. A remote MCP server would be interesting.
That would be more like the AutoShow app then.
Yeah, but it could be another way to get it. But you could, for now, it could be just a local MCP server, I guess.
Okay,
But
well,
you'd
this is
still
running.
need.
Let's go back to the README.
Oh yeah.
We were looking at images. Let's go back and look at the music one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got Audio Craft. That's the name of the other one. So
Okay.
for most
Okay.
of these, what I did is I just asked ChatGPT like what are the biggest projects for these different modalities, and then I kind of clicked around the GitHub repo. Stable AudioCraft though is from Facebook Meta.
Okay. So this is pretty
What
cool.
were you gonna say?
No, it's pretty cool. I guess the question about this is like you could use that music, I guess. There's no copyright, obviously, unless the the models literally spit out a
That's a great
tune.
question. As far as I know, the laws are not written specifically enough to claim copyright over anything generated by a model. This is currently
Yeah.
being legislated, and I think the biggest case is going to be OpenAI versus New York Times. That's going to go to the Supreme Court. That will kind of
Okay.
decide a lot of these copyright concerns. I think a lot of the third-party services, and I know this was the case in the past, I don't know if it still is, they actually had things in their terms of service specifically saying that like there is no copyright restriction on anything you generate, but I'm not
Okay.
sure if that's still the case. For open
Cool.
source stuff, there's no way that they could claim that.
Setup successfully finished.
So let me actually look through this. Okay, so it's still messing up when it's trying to do the audio craft and stable audio. So I think that might be. So let's put the TTS back in, and then this will be the last.
Oh, but
thing
it says
try.
it's missing ENV file. ENV.
I know that's what I'm saying, because there's some of these use a shared environment and some of them use different environments. So the environment that those ones are using is being possibly generated by the Whisper stuff. So that's why it's not working, because we commented out the Whisper thing. So yeah, this is I think we might have to I think I'm gonna have to just like rethink this and actually separate out because I separate out the model parts, but this is actually the thing that's going to break on people's machines, because the models you're just curling a big file essentially, so that really is not going to break much stuff. Yeah, these are all what would be your environment variables.
Yeah, I'm gonna create a .env and
it creates a .env for you.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm just gonna take
It copies
that off
over
screen.
the env example.
Okay, cool. I just moved that off screen. So, cool. All right. So what should we do next then?
Okay, we should switch back to my screen and I'll demo stuff, and then now I kind of know what I need to fix in terms of the setup of commands. This is actually going to work for people. Yeah, that was a useful exercise. I'm not too surprised that this is all broken, because like I said, I'm just kind of vibe coding the Python setup, and it's just for me it's just a trial and error thing, and this is why I like CLIs, because what I do is I always have it start by writing me a bash script to do whatever the hell I'm trying to do. And then I'll have it, run the bash script, and then it will either work or it will give a long, logs of the errors. And then I feed that back to the model, have it update the bash script. And then that's how I kind of work with it to create this. But then you end up with the setup script that could be highly coupled to your own machine, as we're seeing.
Yeah.
So this is something that I'm not surprised that it is not working. So let's do. Actually, let me just real quick.
Got a little inception there.
I'm not showing any. I think I'm actually, hold on. Let me check my desktop. That's where they always get you. You got like your one password open in the back or something like that. Okay. Okay. So, oops. Ah.
Good old Inception.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let me start with the music stuff. So let me go to the docs. Oh, one thing I didn't mention too, also I added in integrations with S3 and R2 so you can save your outputs to a bucket now, which is
okay.
kind
That's
of
pretty
a
nice.
nice little quality of life thing. So then if you want to start like actually, because right now it just dumps a file on your machine, which, you know, if you want to have a bunch of files on your machine, that's fine. But it could be nice to have everything just like saved in the cloud so you don't actually lose all this crap you're generating. And since it's a lot of this now is media, you want something that's like a bucket because then it can save an audio file, video file, music file, or just text, you know?
Yeah. Totally. Cool.
Okay, so for these, if the setup script works, then you can just kind of run one of these. So this is going to.
This is pretty cool though, because like obviously when this first started, it was transcription only, and now like I could literally use this to make some music snippets. How well have you found the music to be? Like here you said like just calm piano melody, but do you get super specific? You
So
know,
I
because
really
like
haven't
obviously,
actually played around with it too much. This is one of the things I just integrated this a week or two ago. And
okay,
I was also trying to get like the video models to work and stuff like that. So it was kind of the thing where I just got it to work and then moved on. So I'm not entirely sure. I will say I use Suno AI a ton. Suno AI is one of my absolute favorite AI things that has been created. I think
okay,
at this point their models are amazing in terms of the music it makes. And I'm a music major, so it's like I know what good music sounds like. I know what well-written music sounds
okay,
like. The 3.5 model, which was their newest model like a year or two ago, it would sometimes create cool stuff, but a lot of it was kind of generic. Then their 4 model got a little bit better, and then now their 4.5 model, it's like over half of the stuff they generate is like an instant banger. It's absolutely
okay,
incredible. So the music stuff has gotten really good. The Suno though does not have an API, which really frustrates me because I would integrate that shit into AutoShow today if it
okay.
did. So the only problem is I don't know how to play music through the VS Code. So what I'm gonna do is I know a
Oh
workaround.
yeah.
We did this on a different stream, but I'm just gonna dump it into one of my R2 buckets and then play it through my
Oh, through the
browser.
browser.
So give me come up with some prompts that we can run for what we want it to sound like. What are some jams or some tunes
Yeah.
that you would want?
Make something sound like Kenny G, I guess.
That's a good
Play
one.
or like yeah. Yeah, or something along like, well, you said jazz before, but like I don't know, generate a rock song melody with heavy saxophone usage. I don't know.
All right. Rock song
Uh,
with heavy saxophone. That's a good one. I had a sax player in my band in college, and we used to say that he was our secret weapon.
yeah. It's funny. It's I generally don't like saxophone in songs, but you know if you like the song and it's got saxophone, then it's a good saxophonist. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
You used to call me on your saxophone.
Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna share. Not that. I want to share this. Okay. You hear that, right?
No, when you share your screen, you probably I don't know if
Oh,
StreamYard
I
has
know
it.
what's wrong. I know what's wrong. Yeah, switch to the right tab. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so a little atmospheric, kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
It's like your call is important to us. Please stay on the line.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of that. So then I had. Let me just real quickly check these other ones. Okay, so I'm running the stable audio now. Let me just show the output for that, and then once it's done, I'll dump that into a bucket as well. So the first one was Audio Craft. So that's the one that's by Meta. So it looks like we ran the small model. So if we ran a bigger model, it might sound better actually, because you have music gen different models here.
And is it the quality of the music, or is it also the quality of the sound of the music with the
I
better
would
models?
imagine probably both, because with these models, it's just like a big black box that they're trying to make better. So
Yeah.
let's see. Okay, yeah, I need to improve the docs on this a little bit because it doesn't quite show you all the models that are actually available. So let me try this. Let's see if it tells me. Okay, okay, I know actually what to do. There's a place in the project where we can see all the models listed. So we want to go to AudioCraft here, and then here we go. Okay, so these are the different models. So I'm going to try. So there's melody, stereo, and then stereo melody. So these are terminologies specific to this music gen project. Let's try stereo large. I'm going to do just the same prompt we did before to have something that's a little easy to compare. Let me actually add this in right here. So we want to do that. And we want to do that, I think. Hell yeah. Okay. And then this guy's done. So let me dump that in a bucket. You can listen to it.
What's the pricing on R2 anyways?
I mean, at this point, I'm just on the free plan. I think you get up to like 10 gigs on a bucket. And then
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, it's pretty amazing. It's one of those things I keep waiting to get charged for it. But yeah, no, I like R2. Their UI leaves a bit to be desired. But have you heard of an upload thing? It was like Theo built a whole tool because he was frustrated by the R2's interface, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this was this one, two, and then that one's still running. Okay, so this is the saxophone one, I think. Okay, so now that I think it's this one. That's the one that I already did. Share this tab instead. Okay. Okay, that didn't really work at all.
I don't know if it was just louder, but it sounded like better quality, like the sound.
Okay. But there's no saxophone. This was the saxophone.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. No saxophone.
Because we said rock song with saxophone, so rock song is kind of what it took from that prompting and kind of what it gave us. It's not able to know well enough that they said this is an instrument which has this kind of sound. And let me see, with stable audio, it might have also been the case that we were using kind of a smaller model. So this one here, I'm going to switch back to screen share. So if you look in the logs here, it says here, generating music with model stability AI, stable audio, open 1.0. So some of the commands I have, you can run a model list command and it will tell you all the models that are available. This one, I haven't done that yet, so I still need to do that. So this will be in, let's see. Okay, so for this, I think I might have just done it where it's just set up for one model right now. So I'm going to have to probably go back to their GitHub and figure out what other models are available. Okay, still running. So this is stable audio. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this one actually might just be designed around this one model.
Okay.
Stable audio open, generates variable length stereo audio, comprises 3 components: an autoencoder that compresses waveforms, a T5 based text embedding for text conditioning. So that's where you tell it the instrument and stuff, and a transformer based diffusion model that operates on the latent space of the audio encoder. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like this just has the one model.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is based on a thing. Yeah, because there's some of them in terms of these projects, some of them are based on a single model. Sometimes it'll be like a family of models. So that's the case with AudioCraft, because AudioCraft is a meta project. So for this, there's actually a range of different models that you could use. And I actually hadn't heard of this until I started researching this, and it seems like they put a lot of effort into it.
I'm trying to find the tab you're in. Oh, there we go. I lost you for a minute.
What am I looking at right now? You can see the screen right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Your tabs, got you. I'm gonna switch to this tab so I can play some of their examples.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's like whistling with wind blowing.
That's pretty accurate.
Really realistic. Yeah, and this would be really good if you were creating like a television show and you needed like, background sound effects.
I'd be curious to know what the prompt. Well, that's the prompt there.
It says right
that
here.
Seems pretty good.
So
yeah.
Pop dance track with catchy melodies, tropical percussion, and upbeat rhythms. Perfect for the beach. I'm assuming that's the prompt. Yeah. It's not entirely clear.
Yeah.
Ukulele.
Those sound pretty good.
Yeah, no, they did. I'm assuming those were run on the highest quality model, which is what we're trying to do right now. And of course, it's going to take its sweet time while it does that, because it's probably a very large model. So you see here, doing all. So it looks like I actually am using PyEnv, not virtual env. So that's good to know. But anyway, so all that's going to keep going for a while. Let me show some of the other things. So as I was saying a little bit, I couldn't get any of the video open source ones to work on my machine, but for all of these, my goal is to have an open source version and a third-party hosted version for each, so that people can choose which one they want. There isn't, so right now there's no third-party hosted music option, and there's no open source video option. Each of those I can only really find either only good open source stuff or only good third-party services. Because like I said, Suno is the best music service, but they don't have an API, so you can't integrate with them. But so the video stuff. So video right now, there's 2 options. Have you heard of VO3? It was kind of all the rage about a month ago.
How can you not hear about that, or Nano Banana? That's all I've seen for video the past month those two.
Yeah, Google's got a lot of money to AstroTurf, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
But so I'm not gonna run the VO one because it's super expensive. It's like $1 for a single, like a 10-second video. So that's a little insane to me. It's the quality is incredible, but it's very expensive right now. So you see here actually, so here I have this list models command, which all of them should have really.
Cool.
So it will tell you here that the options are VO 3.0 generate, VO 3.0 fast generate. I think that's the cheaper one. And then VO2 I'll probably just take out. For the most part, I'm trying to not support legacy models. I want to just have kind of the latest model, because even with something like this, like VO3 is probably faster and cheaper than VO2 or VO3 fast, because they usually, when they come out with a new model, they'll give you a better one that's more expensive and a slightly better one that's a little cheaper. That's kind of the trend that I tend to notice. So, but I am going to run the runway model. So do you know anything about runway?
I've heard about it. Just because I know somebody that worked there, but like I know they do.
Oh, sorry, I'm not sharing the right thing right now. I should be sharing.
What's his name? I forget who it is, and there's somebody I did a front end testing panel with. She worked there. I forget her name. It's escaping me.
So this is what I was showing before. NPM run as -- video list models. But
okay.
Runway is does both video and images. They also have a lip syncing tool, which is really interesting for me because I eventually want to get to the point where I can create a full television show. And so I have essentially all of the pieces for that right now. In the AutoShow CLI, you can generate the images, you can turn the images into video, you can generate text to speech, and then you can kind of stitch all that together. The last thing, though, that you still kind of end up with is how do you actually get the text to sync to the video? Because the way the video works right now, you can either give it a prompt and it will just generate a video, or you can give it an image and it will take that and then just animate it. So if you have a picture of, Homer Simpson, it'll just be him like eating a donut or something, But with lip syncing, it can take a character image and text and then just have them speak it and make their lips kind of match. So there's a couple tools that do that. I don't think Runway can do that through the API, though, which is one of the things that kind of sucks, is that they have some extra features that are only in the dashboard UI, but their API supports image generation and video generation right now. So let me go.
Gotcha. I gotta hop off in a second because I got invited to a work meeting that I need to go to. But
okay, great. Let me just run this command, then we'll be off in 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Actually, yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, I've heard of Runway and I know they do video. I've just never seen it in action, I guess.
Oh wait, I know I already wrote down a thing right here. Okay, so we're gonna take this image, a panda in space, and we're gonna make him dance. Actually, I don't need to run the command. It's okay. So it does this.
That's pretty cool. Like even the VO and stuff, like it's wild what you can do these days, man.
Yeah, and because now, since we have the image capabilities and the video capabilities, you can start by generating the image and then tell it how to dance. So this I generated with the image command. I just want to have us listen to the higher quality model output real quick for the, and then we'll be done. But yeah, so what are your impressions so far of all this?
It's pretty cool. It's neat having all those tools in there. So I definitely got to dig into it more. But
yeah, and I gotta fix the setup command.
Yeah. All right.
Audio. We got the audio that was just generated.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hop off after you play the whatever it is.
Okay, actually, sorry, never mind. It's still running, so we can call it here.
Cool. I mean, keep going if you need to. I just have to join this meeting. It wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I think I'll probably call it here. So yeah, thanks for joining as always, and we'll do another one in a month or two.
Cool. All right. Always great hanging, man.
Later, dude.